I'm going to change this to log base E, and that's just me. You don't have to. That's just because I don't like to deal with natural log. That's just me. Now, this one is written in terms of the quotient rule and the power rule, so they're wanting you to expand it because they're wanting you to undo whatever they've done. If they write it in expanded form, they want you to condense it. If they give it to you in condensed form, they want you to expand it. So it's pretty much, self-explanatory. You don't have to think too much. So, what is this? This is the quotient rule, right? So, and this is the power rule. See, there's a dang old multiplication right there and dang old division right there. So, log base E of E x 8 minus log base E of y. Everybody with me? Now, what can I do to that x and y, or that E and x to the 8? That's what rule? What'd you say, Miss Anthony? I heard.
I think it's the power thing.
The product rule. Right, Miss Anthony?
Right.
Log base E of x to the 8 minus log base E of y.
What did you just say?
This one right here.
Oh, you split that.
Into, dang old, hold on a minute. Let me use some animation here. Dang old times. There we go. How about that? Now what else? What other rule can we use? We've already used the quotient rule. We've already used the product rule. What else can we use? Power rule. I'm going to have to get some more problems because y'all are getting this too easy. We'll have to do something to discourage y'all. One more.
Isn't log E to the E 1?
Good job. You're still going to fail. 1 plus 8 log base E. Don't get your hopes up, okay? Log base E to the y. How do I know I'm done? There's not much anything else you can do. So now you can quit if you hadn't already quit. Now, I'm pretty lazy when it comes to typing in stuff, so I'm just going to type in a 3. And let's see. I don't know if it'll let you. God, this thing takes forever. WebAssign sucks. I told y'all that when we started, right?
Yeah, it's terrible.
It is. 8 log of x minus log of y plus 1. Is that what we got?
Yeah. Just flip it around.
8 log of x minus log of y plus 1. And then you can change it back to natural log. And let's say that on the test you left it as log base E. What does that mean? Does that mean you got it wrong? No. Now, what if you did it on the online test and it marked you wrong? You see me after class or during office hours, after class. Why do I say after? Because if I get here on time, it's a miracle. Okay? So don't come to me before class because I'm usually going to be running late. All right? So after class or during office hours, you come to me. Miss Anthony says, she comes to me like Hammy. She made a 50 on the test. She got all of these wrong because she didn't put natural log. No, she didn't. Okay? So I go through and I change every one that she did log base E, and I change every one and she makes 100. Okay? So that's not a problem. My students in here will tell you, I do not do stuff like that. I said stuff. Okay? I do not do stuff like that. Because ridiculous. Now, the computer will mark it wrong, but I will not. Okay? What was your question? Didn't you have your hand up?
No.
Yeah,
I
you
have
did.
a question.
What?
Like, so in the web
No.
in the web assign, how do you do the log of E in the like entering it in? Can you do that?
Yeah. Where the little button is for log with the little box, down below it, just type in E. Or you type in natural log.
And it will type, but it will take log of E.
I don't know if it will or not. I'm just saying if it doesn't, don't go hammy on me, okay?
Okay, that makes sense.
I don't like hammy. I don't like students that go into hammy mode. Alright? Alright, try number 11. Tool. Oh, what? You get mad and leave? You ready to quit? Fine. Why are these so difficult for some of y'all? Because you hadn't done them what? You hadn't done them in a while. And some of y'all didn't understand them really well when you did do them. So you need to work on them. What rule can we use? Quotient rule. Log base 3 of 35 over what? 7.
Does it matter which ones you like check on first?
Nope. Doesn't matter which order you do it. Is that what you were asking?
Yeah, but couldn't you have used the power rule too first? And then like it kind of messed me up because I did that.
No, there is no power. There is no rule. There is no power.
Okay.
Okay. But remember, with exponents and logarithms, the order that you follow does not affect the solution. Now, what does that mean? Well, you could use in many of the exponential and logarithmic, you can use different order. You could do the quotient rule first, you could do the power rule first, you could do the quotient rule second, you could do the power rule first. The answer will still be what? The same. So in this case, what's 35 divided by 7? you don't have to do that. You could do log of 35 over 7 divided by log of 3. You can go ahead and use the change base formula and then do what? What's 35 over 7? Log of 5 over log of 3. See, I went this way, which I could have went log base 3 of 5, and then what? It doesn't matter which order you do your expansion or condensing. It doesn't matter. Same thing with law of exponents. Does the answer come out to be the same? Yes. Now, that's if. There's an if there. If and only if you use the properties, what? Correctly. Okay? It doesn't work if you just start using your own. It doesn't work that way if you just start using Smith's law of mathematics and start doing crazy stuff. And take your handy dandy calculator and take the log of 5 and put it over the log of 3 and you get your answer. Now, in this case, let's look back at the answer. It probably tells you to write it in terms of a decimal. It does not. Okay, it says as a logarithm. So in this case, it would be log. So we would do log of, well, hold on a minute. Let me back up. Do the fraction. And then do function. And then do log of, what was it, log of 5 over dang old log of 3. If they don't take this answer, they probably want the decimal. What do they want? Okay, we took it too far. They don't want the change base formula. Now, if you did that on a test, I would mark it correct because the difference here is I take the change base formula and write this. So that's not a big deal. Yes.
But for logs, I thought you just want to keep going. So
yeah, I don't know why they stopped here. I don't know. Because it says write the expanded logarithm as a single logarithm. Oh, okay. I got 2 logs, that's why. Splitting hairs, yes. Is both of those answers correct? Yes. I'm not going to worry about that. All right, how's your scientific notation?
Scientific what?
Okay, yeah. That's what I thought. Y'all suck. Go ahead and write down let's do number 19 and 20. I pulled the tool out again. $19 and $20. Now, some of you may have forgotten all about scientific notation. If you have, then you're a failure.
Is that 10 to the 3?
Yeah.
10 to the 3rd, yes. This is 10 to the 8th, 10 to the 6th, 10 to the 2nd. If I was to ask you the definition of scientific notation, some of you would go, move the decimal, blah, 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 blah. And then some of you would have no idea. Scientific notation is placing the decimal. This is a Huberdism definition. To the right, I have to write slowly this thing, of the first number greater than what? 0. Now, scientific notation does not, students do not have a problem changing this number into scientific notation. People do not have trouble putting this number in scientific notation. All right? That's not what students have trouble with. Okay? Students have trouble with these because of a little rule that it gets overlooked a little bit. Now, the way I tell students to do scientific notation is I tell them to move the decimal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1.0 times 10 to the blank 6. And then I tell students to mentally, to ask yourself mentally, which way do you move the decimal here to get back the way it was? To the right. And if you ask yourself that all the time, you will not have a problem. But see, when students get a problem like this, they get a number that's not in scientific notation, and they have to move the decimal one place, and they screw the sign up. They don't screw the one place up, they screw the sign up. So, what I tell students to do is always ask that one question. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Which way did I move this decimal in my head to get it back the way it was? Now, a lot of people say, well, my teacher always taught me it was a big number, it's going to be positive. Okay, you're the one who gets these two questions wrong. Because they're not asking you just to change it. They're asking you to get a number, to calculate, and then when you get through, you've got to change it back. So, remember that little question I told you to remember. Now, if it ain't broke, what? Don't fix it. If you know how to do it and you get them right all the time, then you don't need to ask that little question because you already got a method that you use, and that's fine. But I know that if I gave, without going over this, if I gave y'all these two questions, and y'all walked in the door this morning, I don't know how many people's in here, but probably a third of you would get it wrong, and you wouldn't get it wrong at the first part, you'd get it wrong at the last part when you had to change it back. So, this first one, 3.4 times 1.5, and then times 10 to the 3 plus what? 2. You'd be surprised on how many people go, what are you doing with 3 plus 2? Well, what are these? Exponents. What is this right here? Same what?
Base.
So what do? You'd be surprised how many people are going right now, I didn't know you could do that with scientific notation. It's your teacher's fault. And 10 to the 5th. And then let's see. 1 times 3.4 is 3.4. And half of 3.4 is 1.7. So that's what, 5.1? No, you don't need a calculator for this. Now, in this case, there's not a problem. Why? Because is this in scientific notation?
Yes.
Yes, so it's good. So nobody gets this one wrong because I don't have to move it. I thought it would give us a... This one, I don't know if that one will or not, but I'll make up 2 in a minute and you'll see what I'm talking about. So, 3.9, you're going to have to use a calculator for this because I can't divide in my head like I can multiply. 3.9 divided by 2.6 times 10 to the what? 8 minus 6, not 2. 2's the answer. Don't worry. 8 minus 6. All right, what's 3.9 divided by 2.6?
0.66.
How much?
0.66.
Is that what everybody got?
I'm just guessing.
0.66? How'd you guess that?
I mean, 13 times 3 is 39.
Okay, yeah. I didn't even think about that. What does it come out to be?
1.5.
1.5. You're wrong. You're a failure. You're going to fail. Ah! But good try. At least you're trying to use your head. What did you say it was, Miss Anthony?
1.5.
1.5. Okay, this one comes out not a problem. Okay, now I'm going to put 2 problems on the board here on the next screen, and they're going to be different. And some of y'all are going to do it, and you're going to say, okay. And you get that answer, and you're going to go, wait a minute, what do I do now? All right, you good? So I got everybody's hopes up? Got you feeling good about yourself? Now I'm going to kick you in the stomach. All right, so let's go with 3.0 times 10 to the 5th times 15 times 10 to the 4th. That's 1. I'll just do this one, and then we'll... So everybody ought to know that 3 times 15 is what? 45. So that's easy to do. And then what's 10 to the 5th times 10 to the 4th? 10 to the 9th. Now what? What's wrong?
You got to move the decimal place.
How many places? One place. Simple. But what? Why is it not that simple? Because you don't know which way it needs to go. So, you go 45 times 10 to the 9th, and then it needs to go where? One place. Notice I didn't say what? I didn't say a direction. I just said one place. So 4.5 times 10 to the 9th, blank 1. Which way did I move this decimal to get back the way it was in my head? To the what? Which way did I move this decimal in my head? And your answer is 4.5 times 10 to the 10th power. Now, go ahead and punch that in a calculator and it'll tell you that's the answer. But I guarantee you somebody didn't know which way to move that decimal at the end. Yes, sir?
So you're doing it where you have to get the right out of the first number, right?
Okay. Move it right here first because it has to be right there for scientific notation. Okay. It's right here right now. Okay. You move it one place.
Yep.
Put a blank and a 1 because everybody gets that right. Everybody gets the one place. But then you say to yourself right here, which way in my head do I move this decimal to get it back the way it was? To the right. And that's a little Hubertism, and it never fails. It always works. Now, if you got 4.5 times 10 to the 10th, and you didn't use that, then it ain't what? It ain't broke. Then you don't need to worry about it. So let's do another one. Why is this one easy? Well, 36 divided by 3 is what?
12.
And 17 minus a negative 2 is? No problem. 90% of y'all will do that without any problem. Which way did I move this decimal and get it back the way it was in my head?
To the right.
So the answer is 1.2 times 10 to the 20th power. Now it can work the other way around too. Now, of course, you're going to need your calculator to do that other than, the first part, because unless you're Rain Man, 0.1 divided by 27, you might get a decimal wrong. Unless you'd like to watch Judge Walker. But I can help you with 5 minus 3. That's 10 to the what? Now, what's 0.1 divided by 27?
0.00370.
Okay. Point what?
0037037.
37037. Is that what you got? All right. Now you do the next step. I'll even show you where to put it. Where are you going to put it? Which way in my head do I move this decimal to get it back the way it was? So your final answer is 3.7037 times 10 to the negative 1 power, which in that case would be 0.37037.
How do you know how many significant figures to put in?
Okay, significant figures, we're not going to get into those, but that's for your physics and your science people, okay? But in this case, I just took it out to when he stopped saying set numbers. Was that the end of it?
It was 037.
Okay, so it's repeating. So in this case, you could have stopped it. Most of the time, people stop at the 10th. I meant the 100th, I'm sorry. Most people. Think of dollars. Most people stop at the hundreds. Most people. But your science people are different. They're unique. They're challenging. Unique, challenging, different, whatever words you want to use. So, how you feel about that? Kind of knock some of the cobwebs loose? Well, that pretty much covers the algebra aspect. Except the rationalizing. I'm going to put a couple of thousand problems up on the rationalizing, but what else is there? Okay, this is starting to irritate me, okay? I think some of y'all are doing it. I think that's Anthony's doing it with a watch or something. All right. What else do you need to review? Well, of course, don't forget the trig. Trig what? Trig identities, Hubert. That's right, class. And there's a good page right there for you to print out, right there. Now, why am I not spending time on, well, one, you should have just got out of trig if you're taking California. Okay? If you haven't, then you need to drop right now. No, I'm just kidding. If you haven't, then you need to go over this page and you need to try to memorize at least the top section. From here up. Okay? Mainly, I'm really right here, the top three. These right here you need to know. What else do you need to know? Trig people, what else?
Unit circle?
Unit circle, good job. You had a good algebra teacher. Unit circle. So you go to your Google and you type in unit circle. There it is. You need to print that out, enlarge it, print it out, whatever the case may be. Print that out. I will put a trig review up, and it will cover everything from trying to find the sine, cosine, and tangent of a right triangle all the way up to the identities that you need to know. And then I'll go over those. We'll probably go over those Wednesday. Okay? I don't want to, like I say, we shouldn't have to spend a lot of time on trig because most of you just came out of trig, and the the identities in the unit circle is what? All what? Memorization. Okay? So I can look up a couple right quick, see if there's a trig review in the homework for you. I don't know if there is a trig. Is there? Well, yeah, there is a trig review because it's in the. I'll just make a homework section. All right, who's got questions for me? You do have a 14-day what? Trial period. So if you want to go ahead and start on your homework, you can. You just go into WebAssign, type in that code, and it'll ask you that question that it asked me. What did it say? It'll say, do you want to get an access code? Do you have an access code? Or do you want to use the trial period? If you know that your financial aid or whatever is not coming in for a few days, then go ahead and use the grace period. Okay? Go ahead and call the roll for today. And then we'll talk about what we're going to be doing next week.